Alrighty now. So I am preparing to make the vegan crab cakes using chickpeas and jackfruit as the meat base. And I just wanted to show you guys some of the ingredients that I'm using. So one of the things that I'm learning about preparing more plant-based or vegan or what have you is that one, you will always have to make substitutions, not just for your meat, but the ingredients. Two, not every recipe I follow to the T because sometimes I can just get overwhelming. It's way too many spices and ingredients and my mind don't have time to wrap around, or it's not in my cabinet. So my advice to those of you who find it to be overwhelming, work with what you got, okay? And then if you just are really that enthused to try something out in a recipe that you might not have in your cabinet, then take the time to do that. But so this recipe was posted in the Black Girls Eat Vegan 2 group. So we got half a can of chickpeas that I got straight from Walmart. Got some jackfruit in brine. The recipe called for in water, but somehow I picked up in brine and rinsed it off. It's gonna be alright. It called for half of a red onion. I didn't have a red onion, so I used yellow. It called for 2 celery stalks. Honey, celery is strong to me, and I am not going by that. I'm just gonna do 1, if that. Might only do half. Some nori sea wraps that you use for sushi and stuff to give it that sea flavor. It called for half a bunch of parsley, which is a lot. If you know what a bunch is, it's a bunch. So I'm actually going with these 2 because the peppers, it said half of a red pepper, and I had a bag of mini sweet peppers, red, orange, and yellow. So I have too much of both of these. So I'm going to use half and use the rest of it for my hummus that I'm going to make out of my remaining garbanzo beans that I brought. Got a cup of vegan mayonnaise. Tastes just like mayonnaise, y'all. Supposed to be some spicy mustard. Don't have it, so we're gonna go with that. Salt and pepper to taste. Pink Himalayan sea salt. Black pepper. Got both of these from Dollar Tree. I just ended up putting it in an old honey jar. You know, I like to upcycle, baby. Got some spelt flour that I got from probably Earth Fare or Deep Roots. One of the 2. Got 2 cloves of garlic. Got some smoked paprika, which is different than ground paprika, okay? That smoke really gives you some flavor. Got zest of a lemon. Used a little cheese grater. Made that thing bald. That's the lemon zest. And then I'm going to fry it in grapeseed oil when it's time. So I'm going to mix all this together and let you know how it go. Oh, and this is actually the rolling mat that I use when I'm baking. Like when I made my tortillas out of spelt flour, I use this sheet. But it was very convenient to just chop up stuff on my cutting board on top of this, and it gives me space so when I make the patties, it'll have space to do its thing. I like it. Got to get you convenience items. I bought an apple corer today that you just slip over the apple. So yeah, buy you stuff that helps make your preparation and cooking more convenient for you, okay? All right, check in with y'all in a minute. All right, so I just opened up a can of jackfruit, and I want to show you the process for these vegan chickpea jackfruit crab cakes. So this is how it looks in the can, which is totally different than how the live flesh jackfruit looks, but that's another story for another day. But this is how it looks in the can. So this is like your core area down here. It's a little harder, and this is like the fibrous top part. So the recipe that I'm following stated that she chops the core off, and then she separates this fleshy part, and with the core, instead of just throwing it away, she chops it up into small pieces as well to use in the crab cake. And she will add this to the batch last so that it can have that flaky crab look to it, because that's how sometimes these plant-based meals, it's just to get your mind to still see it as the meats that you miss. So that's the jackfruit part, and we'll move on to something else in a second. Okay, so right now what I got going on, this was the first crab patty that I tried to make. As you can see, it's not really sticking together. It's not as crisp. I did not use egg replacer or breadcrumbs in this one. These I did. I used the egg replacer. Ooh, that one's, it's still kind of soft, but as far as flipping it, and I used Italian breadcrumbs. See, it's still not really hard, but it's much easier to flip, whereas that one was falling all apart, child. But I'm excited to see what they come out like. So what I'm going to do, the recipe called for using a little bit of spelt flour, not too much so that it wouldn't be dry, but it didn't really do what it needed to do as far as flipping when I cooked it. But as you can see, the jackfruit looks like crab cake type fibers. I'm going to mix the rest of them with the bread and I'll let you know how I go. Peace, y'all. So I'm here to give y'all a review of the jackfruit and chickpea crab cakes that I just made, along with this avocado dip that I made as well. So first things first, I've been in the kitchen about 3 hours. Okay, so a rule of thumb would be to clean as you go and to have help to help you chop stuff and mix stuff. So it's a great family activity to cook together. But this is what the crab cake looks like. Okay, interesting. So some things I would do differently next time. I followed a tutorial or a recipe from Black Girls Eat Vegan 2, which is a group on Facebook, and I didn't follow everything because she had like jalapeno peppers and other peppers in there, and I'm not a big pepper person, but it could use more flavor personally. I didn't think about this, and this wasn't on the list of ingredients, but Old Bay, duh, to make it taste like seafood, I didn't have any. But that would have been a great addition to this because it's not bad. The consistency is nice. It does remind you of crab with the jackfruit flakes. But I definitely am missing like salt. But other than that, it's really good. Now, this little avocado sauce, honey. I used one big Haas avocado. That thing was huge. I used the whole thing. I added in half of a lemon. I squeezed in the juice from that. I put in a dash of like smoked paprika, pepper, salt, Himalayan pink sea salt. And then I also added some coconut cream. About 2 teaspoons of that. I was trying to get it to like be liquidy. And I added a little bit of water. But it just came out like this paste. But I'm still feeling it. I just really need more salt in the crab is all. But it's really, hold on. The consistency is really nice. And it gives you that crab type of look and feel to it. So I'm proud of myself. I'm learning, and I'm gonna have to try again, keep practicing, but I'm gonna get it together. That is one thing about plant-based meals. It takes a lot of preparation, patience, and trial and error because you're trying to get it to mimic something that is not, which is another reason why you should just be really eating for the health purposes and benefits. We're so hardwired to eat for how something looks and tastes because that's just how we grew up. That's what we know. That's how we associate with food. But once you start getting a relationship with plants and understanding that you're living, you're eating to live and not living to eat, you won't get so wrapped up in, oh, well, this don't taste just like steak. No, because it's not a cow's ass. So it won't, you know. So that's my review. And I'll also be posting the recipe and the process and all the stuff I used in it. So try it yourself at home. All right, peace.